So LearnDash is a bit like a Swiss Army knife. It has a lot of features for all occasions, and 10 of which you will never probably use, and the design hasn't changed in a decade or even more. In this video, I'm reviewing LearnDash, one of the most popular LMS plugins for WordPress. So before you spend hours setting up, or worse, just commit to the wrong tool, let's take a look at where it shines, where it falls short, and if it's the right tool for you, because that's the most important thing. Is it right for you? Hello internet people, I'm Robert and I help creators like you choose and use the right tools to grow your online business. I just want to mention that LearnDash is a WordPress plugin, so you need your own website to host it. There are also hosted LMS platforms like Teachable, Thinkific that do everything for you without you needing a website. And by the way, LMS stands for Learning Management System, so it's the software that enables you to create courses and manage students and so on. But I'm gonna just use LMS. Okay, let's start with the things I like about LearnDash, and it's a lot of things. But first of all, you get a lot of out-of-the-box features that other LMS don't even have. Besides the basic features that you would expect from, from this kind of a tool, features like drip content. So you can just release lessons over time. For example, if you're doing a cohort-based course, then that's useful. Then also you can set course prerequisites. For example, you can unlock modules only when the students are ready by passing a quiz, or then you can also create quizzes, certificates, assignments right in the tool. And you can make it more interesting to the students by adding a bit of gamification so that they can earn badges and see them, on the leaderboards and things like that. This will really motivate and engage your students by making learning more interactive and rewarding. And this is kind of a unique feature of this plugin. There's not many that do this. Also, it's compatible with SCORM and X API, so you can upload third-party courses into LearnDash. This might be important for people who want to host corporate or governmental training. But to be honest, I haven't done this before, so just check out their documentation about SCORM. And if you have no idea what it means, then don't worry about it. It's just a nice extra to have. And lastly, you can also pre-sell your courses before it's ready. Basically, you just set your course as coming soon and collect payments before it's fully, live or developed. This is just perfect way to validate your idea or just building hype before a launch. The second thing I like is also one of the biggest reasons you would choose LearnDash over hosted platforms like Teachable or Thinkific or Kajabi is because of the price. Right now for one site, LearnDash is about $199 per year, right? And I'll add a promo code in the video description so you can get it even a little bit cheaper. Whereas if you compare this to the other hosted platforms, they charge between $29 to $89 per month. And that's for their entry-level plan. So per year, this will be at least double, triple, or even quadruple what you pay for LearnDash. Pretty crazy, right? That said, in some cases, you will need other plugins to get best out of LearnDash, so there's extra cost for that. But that depends, and even then, the costs are usually much lower than with the hosted platforms. When you compare the price of LearnDash to other LMS plugins for WordPress, they usually cost about the same or maybe a little bit cheaper than LearnDash. So they're around that mark of $199 per year. The third thing I appreciate is that you can customize basically anything. The beauty of LearnDash is that, and other WordPress LMS is that you can customize it to look anything you want. You can't really achieve it with the default setup, but either with plugin or by hiring a developer, you can just create whatever you want. This also means if one day you want some custom features, that's all possible because you can just hire a developer and he will build it for you just for LearnDash. For example, if you want to customize the lesson page, no problem. Want to add a new payment method like Apple Pay? Just install a plugin. Want to reward your students with virtual Pokemon stickers? It's probably possible, but I'm not sure if it's entirely legal. But I think you get the point. You can just customize everything. The fourth thing I like is that it's integration with other tools. The cool thing is that LearnDash integrates with some other tools like you see here on the screen. But the best thing or the most important thing is that it has a native integration with Zapier. And Zapier is a tool that connects different apps together and then they can talk with each other and you can automate tasks without you writing any code. This is really huge thing, and you can connect LearnDash to tools like Mailchimp, ConvertKit, Google Sheets, or even to-do lists. It doesn't really matter. This means you can create any kind of automation, for example, based on your student's progress. Want to send a student a welcome email and add them to a spreadsheet and ping yourself in Slack? You can definitely do that without any code. Want to send a student who just finished a course a request to write a testimonial? Not a problem. This opens up a lot of possibilities, especially later on when you want to do more advanced things. The last thing I like about LearnDash is that it's been around for a long time, and since it's so popular, there's a big ecosystem around it. There are WordPress themes that are compatible with LearnDash, like Astra and Cadence, and many other ones. You get add-ons also that enhance the UX, analytics, and gamification. You also have a large support community to ask questions or hire somebody to update something. This just makes it easier to find solutions when you have any issues. Okay, those were the good things, but what about things that I don't like about LearnDash? Because it's not just, rainbows and unicorns. Well, first of all, I already kind of mentioned this, but you need a website that you use as WordPress. This means you're gonna have extra costs from web hosting, and also that you're responsible for optimizing, managing, and updating not only LearnDash, but also WordPress website to keep things fast and stable. You just need to do it. Okay, honestly, the management and updating part doesn't take that much time, but I would say the initial setup, it takes way, way longer than just using a hosted LMS, where you just upload your videos and a few images here and there and write some text, and that's about it. With WordPress, you'll always have to do things, you'll have to maybe add more plugins, things change. There's a bit of more tweaking around, definitely. And just so you know, with LearnDash and other WordPress LMS, you need to host the videos either on your website or on a video service like YouTube, Vimeo, or Vistia. But honestly, hosting on your website is not usually a good idea. Using YouTube just looks a little bit unprofessional, and Vimeo and Vistia are super cool and have customizable video players and everything, but you need to pay a subscription to actually use them. So you see, there's already a little bit cost added here. The second thing I really don't like about LearnDash is just the design of the dashboard that you're gonna work with. But in general, the design is just not modern. The interface just feels like something from 2013 or even a little longer. It's like they have never changed it. Let me show you what I mean. So this is my course landing page where you can read more about the course. I've just added some details here. And by default, when I look at the preview, this is what you're gonna get. You have the image here. You have the titles and what you're gonna learn, and you're gonna also have the content here below. But in terms of like design, you need to know how to use either Gutenberg, which is the default page builder in WordPress, or you can use, for example, Elementor. But even then, you'll have to build up even the most basic pages. Whereas with some other platforms, you just fill in things, and they have elements that kind of just work out of the box with courses. Now, in theory, you can also install a template specifically for courses, and they do provide that. So here are different options. So if I preview this one, you'll notice that they actually do look nice, and you have some options here. But if you install this on your main website, that would mean that this will override your existing theme. So the content stays there, but the theme will be overwritten, and that means you'll have to adjust the whole website. If you install it on subdomain, then you could get away with it and just use a template like this. But again, for example, these templates are built in Cadence. I don't know if that's your favorite theme. So if you're not using that or you don't want to use it, then yeah, there's extra steps that you need to take to actually start utilizing this and making a nice design. The third thing I dislike is that it's just not beginner friendly. This is partly because of the old design that I just mentioned, but partly also because it has so many features. They are a little overwhelming for most people, especially in the beginning. It just feels so much and it's not intuitive. So this is one of my courses. If I click on edit, I can start editing this course page with Elementor or the pre-built Gutenberg editor. However, like Builder here, you can create your lessons and add the headings for them. And inside here, you can come and add topics. This is all fine, not the best looking interface, but then where it gets a little tricky is when you go to settings. There's quite a lot of settings. This is just the course settings. You can see that there's a lot of things to set up. It's not very intuitive the way it works. It's just kind of old school. And then if I go to the builder and inside one of the lessons, you'll notice here I can build the lesson, add a video, and so on. That's okay, I guess, because I can edit with Elementor or just use the Gutenberg. But here's more settings. You have a lot of toggles. What is helpful that you have these little question marks here, so they will tell you what this does. But as you can see, when you're just starting out, it's a bit overwhelming with all the information. So be prepared for a steep learning curve and to spend some time Googling or using an AI to find solutions, because it takes time to get used to it. And if you prefer a tool with modern design and a better usability, then check out this review of Tudor LMS WordPress plugin. Just click on that video banner and it should take you there. The fourth thing I don't like about LearnDash is that you will need multiple plugins and add-ons to get the course pages and checkout flow to look and behave like you want it. And I know that's kind of what WordPress is all about, but the more plugins you add, the more issues you're gonna have. Plus some of them are premium plugins and you need to pay for them, so that adds up to the cost. I also ran into multiple small issues that took time to fix while I was creating my first course, and they get a bit frustrating time to time because it just should work. And since this is on WordPress, be prepared that you will need workarounds and fiddle with small things here and there. This is especially true if you're going to use WooCommerce as the checkout experience for LearnDash. So LearnDash comes with two checkout experiences, or actually there's more, but these are the main ones. You have the native one, and then you have WooCommerce. For WooCommerce, you have endless possibilities. You have many plugins that go on top of it, but the setup takes a bit longer because you need to learn LearnDash and you need to learn WooCommerce as well. So it takes more time. But let me show you at least the native checkout experience so that you know what you're getting into. So the native experience for the checkout is like you click on a button that takes you to the registration page. You need to first register. And then when you continue from here, you have this order details, and then you can click on checkout, and that will take you, for example, in this case, I want to pay with card, so I can just pay from here with Stripe payments. Now, the last complaint I have is that LearnDash doesn't have any type of a tax or invoicing system, at least not out of the box. This means that if you want to charge VAT in Europe, you are forced to install WooCommerce, and then only then you can handle taxes. In some cases, you might have to pay a little extra to get the right plugin. By the way, if this review helped you decide to go for LearnDash, then just head to the video description down below and click on the first link to sign up with LearnDash. I'll also include any discount codes when I have one there next to that link. So what is my final verdict? Should you avoid LearnDash, shortlist it, or just go ahead and buy it? Well, I think you should shortlist it. It is the most feature-rich WordPress LMS, and it is your choice for an enterprise level LMS that can scale. But for people who just need a simple course platform and an affordable price, there are better options. So think, do you actually need a Swiss Army knife with all the features, or can you just get away with a screwdriver that is really good at one thing? If you need something simpler, then check out my review of Tudor LMS right here, which will just delight you with the design and ease of use.